draft time.
Whee!
Lots of bands, pastry time.
Well, Braum, Callista, Azir, and Bardo banned out there. I like the respect. I just noticed that. That's actually the best.
El Bardo has been taken off the Rift pastry time. I don't blame them, honestly. Nope. Dumbledore is a Bardo god.
He certainly is. We just saw Licorice clean up as well. Siva and Graves will be the last few bans. So Echo first pick there for Thaldron, who will be playing in this game. Fabulous absent this time around, but I'm sure we'll see him throughout the tournament.
Yeah, that's actually interesting. They chose Fabulous throughout the finals brackets of SuperMassive's run in the Turkish league. Opting into Thaldron this time around could be a stylistic choice. Swiper gives us his signature hover.
Yep. He's his favorite champion, Tales of the Tryndamere. Hasn't played it in a while, unfortunately. I think he has like 1 or 2 professional games on the champion. But always loves to hover it. We'll see what the Chiefs are actually looking to pick up, though.
He's actually banned. Like, he'd play more of them, but his coach banned him from playing it. So plain and simple, not allowed. I think first and foremost, though, the Echo being locked in is another massive pick for SuperMassive. You always say it's a SuperMassive pick. It's actually quite important. You can flex it between mid and top. It does well into the pick that Chiefs have actually just locked in.
Yeah, Maokai Kindred, actually the pick. So Echo, we've heard it from Sol, the tank buster, loves to 1v1 those tanks. So Yang do a nice job in lane with the Gragas, interestingly, is kind of more of a bruiser style tank, but Maokai, definitely a pure tank. Swiper's been on the hard tank train for pretty much most of the back end of their season.
Yeah, he has been, because he doesn't really need to do the carry role anymore. Spooks has stepped up in that particular area and has started to carry much more heavily for his team. With Maokai being locked in compared to the Gragas, however, from the last game, it's a little bit harder to push out an Echo. Your trade potential is there, but not as consistently as a Gragas may be. Every time he just drinks from his massive keg, just bops the keg on top of the Echo.
And then Echo just never wants to stop chasing you.
But it's not Echo.
Gragas and Poppy actually picked up there. So that is 3 pretty flexible champions.
It's safe to assume at this stage in the game that it's Echo mid, Poppy top with the Gragas jungling. That is the common lane assignment. As the Chiefs,
I love it. That's an Easter egg if there ever was one. But I can tell you right now, I don't think they'll be picking that again.
Because they lost with
draft.
SuperMassive's draft, by the way.
Yeah, this is, speaking of real drafts.
Yeah, as 3 champions that you could lock in on Summoner's Rift at all, those are 3 of the strongest available to you at the moment. All they're really missing is the carry roles, and I say carry roles nicely, meaning the bottom lane, and Dumbledore is a primary carry of this team.
I would agree. But there's Trundle and Lucian actually locked in there, so it looks like a bottom lane finished up for the Chiefs. They'll give last pick over to the mid laner, and there's a Chu actually going to lock in that Ezreal. Dumbledore may be considering an aggressive support.
The thing is with the Chiefs, remember, the Trundle Lucian lock-in being the bottom lane secured, is it? The bottom lane secured.
True.
Remember that one of the only teams that I've ever seen in the world flex Maokai as a support.
And that is the Chiefs, that's right. They do love to flex it. At one point, I think I heard them joke about, hey, you know what, Swiper, we should just flex every champion. They'll never know what we're picking, but they do actually flex this one.
Speaking of flex, pastry,
Lysandra actually was picking there
Flex
as well.
City.
Yeah, I have no idea. I know where Ezreal's going.
So Poppy support.
Okay.
So yeah, it's going to be Poppy support with Echo top. They could still change between, like, again, that is just a giant flexible, like, we're in a gymnasium over there.
We'll give Chiefs 20 seconds to lock in their last pick and then maybe see where these are going. Looks like Chiefs are last picking their mid lane up, so not too many surprises for their lineup. Although always fun to see if Swiper and Aegian want to play swapsies with their champions. And Ryze was left open, I completely forgot. But it is, Swiper's clearly been practicing because he does last pick it here.
Yeah, so they lock in that Ryze, and they knew the matchup for the Ryze this time around. There was no Nivea to be the kind of counter pick in that respect, and they make sure that when they lock in the Ryze, it's in the right situations. They've got the conditions that have been met. And the Chiefs have got a very well-rounded team composition. So does SuperMassive.
Yeah, I think, definitely a little bit more engaged maybe on the SuperMassive side, although I think it's maybe just weighted in different spots. Understandably, the big playmakers there are going to be Nara and Dumbledore with the Lysandra and the Poppy. I feel like EJ maybe not as enabled on a pick like Trundle, and a lot of power in Spook's and Swiffer's hands once again, with the big carries in Rising Kindred.
There definitely is, and the question to me is, do the dynamic duo return?
Yeah.
Do they look to focus and get each other ahead respectively. The Rise, in particular, was hovering that cleanse as well. Actually going a very defensive summoner spell, and to me that just says the Chiefs, they want to scale.
Yep.
They want to get to that late game team fighting, but, I mean, they're against a Poppy, a Gragas, Echo, Lissandra.
Yeah.
You can't really just freely get to the late game. You're going to have to earn it.
Yeah, I mean, Ezreal maybe takes a little bit of time to scale up, but the sheer amount of engage that the Supermassive have access to is potentially pretty scary. Don't forget, of course, the Lucian there for Radiant. Very solid AD carry. It's been actually, I think, the most popular AD carry, certainly already in the tournament, just based on 2 games that we've had, and now with another draft. There's always I mentioned like Spooks and Swiffer need to have a big game here, but there's always the backup. And that's Rady. He's pretty good backup.
Well, he's one of the better backup tools that you would want. I think it's the best that he is considered backup, though, for the team. I would always look at the Chiefs roster and say that the primary carry should be Swiffer or Swiper, and then give no, I guess, implications to Raider of saying you have to carry this game. Just let him play his own game out, and you'll notice that from that he starts to perform a little bit better naturally.
Yep, Lucian definitely a big champion for him, but we are going to move out onto Summoner's Rift. Oceania will play for the first time in the tournament, and so will Turkey, as it's the Chiefs versus Supermassive Esports. Thaldron going to move his way out. Top Echo. Double TP there as well, actually, for the Supermassive side.
I'm a little bit sad we didn't get Bardo.
He was banned, man.
I know. The Dumbledore is the Bard King. He's also the Faker Slayer.
He is. It's almost like they banned him for a reason. Hey, man, that's the kind of work you get done on Bard. I don't think I want to give it to you either.
No, that is a good point.
Looks like everyone's just going to set up pretty normally here. No one's been too keen on some sort of invade or deep vision, but have had a couple lane swaps already. So we'll see where these where the lanes end up. Chiefs generally like running 2v2s, at least locally. I have to think Dumbledore is always happy to pick a fight, but maybe Ezreal wants to get out of that lane.
They're always entirely capable of lane swapping, though, both of these teams, you would imagine. We even, like, seeing it in the first game, to me, was a good sign that teams can lane swap, and whilst it wasn't perfect, they still show it's a little bit difficult, but I do like the Graves ban. It says to me perhaps they wanted to pick that Kindred early.
Well, quite possibly, as we do pop ourselves back into the game. Thank you very much for sticking with us as we are moving through the delays. Fingers crossed. As actually almost 2 minutes into this one. Looks like level 1s have settled, but it is standard lanes. For the first time in the tournament, we'll get actual proper 2v2s and not crazy upside down ones. So Swiper is already in a bit of early trouble.
Yeah, Swiper, it makes sense that he's going to struggle a little bit. Level 1 and 2 are the danger points for a Maokai. It even wants standard lanes, and the reason that I say that is primarily because whilst it's great to help your jungler start, you get saplings, you could take the raptors. If you start with a sapling toss, you just lose lane.
Yep.
And so you actually want to start with something else. So these two in bottom lane.
Seeing it again. It's almost like we're back home. Ejim and Rady hit level 2, go straight aggressive, and actually get a flash out of Ashu. Do use the exhaust, though.
Hey, we never left Pastry. We're still here.
That's true.
But you're right, the level 2 aggressiveness, something that you'll get used to seeing, honestly, from these two if you get standard lanes. Is
almost predictable.
Almost. Too predictable.
Gragas, they're going to clean out his blue. Red, sorry. Spook, sorry. They're going to get his blue buff. He's level 3. Maybe looking to tag up Gragas. Does have a mark on that Raptor side. Not a bad time to pick a fight.
About to find each other.
Could be an issue, though. Ooh, a little low there on the Gragas. Doesn't
No
get
smites.
the Raptor. Yeah.
Let the games begin.
Don't reset. Oh, he's angry. He's pieced out. Swiffer's going to join him as well, but Nara's a little bit more threatening early on. Good pressure, though.
Not the games are on.
He's going back to it. There's a ward. There is a ward there, though.
Yeah, Spooks is going the long way.
Oh, I like this a lot. Now this could be trouble. Yep, he's going to get aggressed on. Spook's looking for it. He's going to actually force a flash. And he's got the smite. Not quite back up yet, but he should be able to take this. Barrels in! Gets his mark stolen.
Oh, close, but not close enough, Spooks. No smite available. It's a small victory in the scope of things, given that his flash was taken from him. So lots of health now gained by Spooks and advantage, which could mean more.
Certainly could, but getting fall back to that Scuttle Crab. Missing your first Marcus Kindred, though. Always a sad time. But able to pretty cleanly take that out. Pick up the Crab and continue jungling. We'll see if Spooks can maybe apply some more jungle v jungle pressure. As Ejim and Achu going to see each other. Gragas able to clear this out. And maybe look top lane for some pressure. Swiper, though, holding on as Thaldron does get the early aggression down. And mid lane, nice and even on CS there. But no, it doesn't have access to that TP. Swiffer pretty much forced to take cleanse in this matchup.
Yeah, he definitely needs to have that cleanse. Lissandra as well as Varus are the two champions where you'll like 100% of the time see it or it's just a big mistake. Jungle pressure always going to be a big deal in this middle lane, but having the cleanse there means it's a lot more difficult to execute on that, as these two are just persistent.
Yeah, aggression again, but Raider actually kind of low. I think maybe chunked up by some Mystic shots there. Jim gonna have to work overtime on the target stacks to try and keep him healthy as Spooks once again just trying to find Storm Aged, but he's actually top side. Looking for Swiper, who's quite low on mana.
He's out of mana.
Parallel Convergence isn't going to tag him, and now they'll see Gragas. Good attempt, but Swiper able to dodge that gank.
Yeah, the idea was right, but Swiper without mana knows that he clears as much as he can and he has to peace out. Even Naru was up here, yeah. Aggressive early stuff from this Turkish team, but nothing gained just yet.
Well, back in bottom lane, 2v2s once more. Dumbledore does take himself some damage. But Ejim trying to play up nice and aggressively. Lucian though, doing well. Ezreal also able to fight pretty well early on. The Swiper does burn that TP in towards that top lane. Goes for Dark Seal actually, so had that Corrupting Potion already. So Doran's Dark Seal. Corrupting Potion, I guess, rather than, what, double Dorans would be your other option?
Yeah, instead of going the double Dorans, he has the Corrupting Potion, so those 3 potions are going to be 25% more efficient on each one. Makes life a bit easier when you're losing lane by champion matchup only. So being able to stay healthy actually more important than winning the lane directly, and so that makes a lot of sense. Sacking a item buy timing perhaps on his first item, but should be perfectly fine.
Yep, seems fine. As Echo hasn't gone back yet. They're unlikely going to use that TP or possibly the ultimate to get himself back to lane if necessary. Swiffer though with a tier up already. He's also going to make his way back. Looks like Naru still has that TP and a Catalyst, so able to hold on to that summoner as well as another battle will ensue, this time for a pink ward. Ejim and Spooks teaming up. They'll be able to take that for themselves, and Gragas goes in. Wants to try and get the damage down, but he's been slowed by the Pillar and the Kindred. Naru threatening with the ultimate though. The Chiefs make sure not to pick a fight that could result in Naru blowing them up.
Yeah, but a very inefficient pink ward from Stormage, which is, you could tell he was a little bit angry about that one. Just placed the pink ward down and immediately killed by the Chiefs. No big deal, nothing doing just yet, as naturally this is going to continue to happen.
Yep, Swiper just pretty much forced to tank hits and get CS. Keeping up nicely actually, but Belgian always has pressure in the lane. Echo, Graspy Undying, pretty good.
And that's the thing, right? Like, even if Maokai forces an Echo out of lane, he can just ult back to lane and be perfectly fine. He's got the teleport that he can then save and influence the rest of the map, where if Swiper wanted to match it, he would have to teleport to lane.
Yeah, and that was the first back he made as well. Was with the ulti. Went back and got the Spectre's Cowl. As Spooks, he'll get this mark. Taking out the Scuttle Crab here. And once again, putting some wards down and maybe looking to invade. The Raptor camp is up. Both junglers actually have their skirmishes. Looks like Naru looking for the blue buff though. Stormage going to go ahead and give that one over. But it's pretty
Sooner
quiet.
or later. There we go.
Nailed it. But it's been good early pressure here by Spooks. Just trying to keep tabs on Gragas. Even got the flash early on. Couldn't follow up really. No kills just yet here. 8 minutes in. It's been relatively quiet. Now blue buff going to go over to Swiffer. He's also been stacking up nicely with the tier.
Yeah, things very slow and a lot of respect shown at the start, but we haven't seen a lot from either of these teams just yet. This is their first opportunity to either hide their hand and win through standard, or forced into showing something. And so naturally in the first best of one with every other team at this event watching them, you don't want to show what you've got yet.
No.
Just pick standard, play standard, and that's why we'll see a so slow start.
And that's the first 3 games we've gotten as well. Been some very standard drafts, but great play from all the teams we've seen so far. Swiffer actually going to chunk down those Raptors as his passive procs. Stelmage busy working on the Krugs. Have a few tiers in this game as well. One for Ezreal, one for Rise. So need to charge those up, of course. It's Dumbledore just at level 6. Raider and Ejim don't quite want to go too aggressive. Actually getting zoned out kind of by the Poppy at this point. Although Ejim is standing and fighting where he can. Takes the buckler down as well, as here comes Gragas. He's going to get spotted by that pink wall, but he'll clear it out, and this is a possible dive.
Yeah, and that's a BF sword Lucian with a Trundle losing lane to a tier Ezreal. And that says a lot right now about how this lane's pressure is now starting to backfire. No health values to keep them up. Very surprising, honestly, that that's happening at all.
Well, we'll We'll see if this dive works out here, because this is a great setup here for the Gragas. Naru can join in as well. Oh,
Chiefs?
actually,
No.
Staljon can as well. Yeah, I don't think this is safe.
Oh, wow. There's a teleport.
There's the TP. Oh, good flash from Rady, though. Gets him out to safety, but Naru going to chase him in. Ulti's good. Gragas ulti moves him back as well, and the CC chain's massive. Gragas with the first blood.
Yeah, there's no way he's getting out of that. Naru with the lockdown. Very easy to follow from Stomaged. Quick, early first kill here. And that's the tower. That is probably control of the map now starting to just explode.
Huge swing there for SuperMassive Esports. As they'll take out the turret, and they're not done. They'll keep pushing another wave in. Make sure it gets to the tower. Ezreal even burns the ulti just to make sure. And Spooks, you know, busy counter jungling up. As Swiffer goes in and onto Naru. Very aggressive there for the rise, forcing the flash.
And guess who's here?
Spooks looking for the dive. Swiffer is going to line it up, but Naru is going to get himself out of the way. Good use of the claw to make sure he stays safe. Narrow window to try and get that kill. Chiefs cannot quite get it.
Yeah, it was absolutely a difficult kill to try and attain, but Naru having no flash, no teleport, as well as no ultimate, means he was quite susceptible to these ganks. Swiffer, however, he is not afraid of anything.
No, certainly not. Ejim's here as well, actually, as Dumbledore gets the two-man ulti down, but it's just to sort of kick them out of the way. Swiffer with a nice bit of lane pressure, despite the fact that Naru went bottom lane and was able to pick up the kill. Intelligent answer there from the Chiefs. I was wondering if maybe Spooks should have been towards the bottom as the Kindred, because he was level 6, but I think honestly with the way they tried to trade there, you can see what they wanted to do, sort of splitting the map in half.
Yeah, I think he probably should have been bottom. I will agree with that. And definitely there was an idea in place by Spooks, and that he's just spending most of his time counter ganking. As that was even a forced flash from Swiper.
Yep, surprise Ezreal. Apparently scary enough
Yeah,
to force the flash away. But Chiefs are going to group and try and take this turret down. Spooks with the recurve bow, so there's actually a pretty strong pushing squad.
That was also just a big mistake from Swiper. I mean, plain and simple, they took the bottom lane turret. You would imagine the immediate response from taking that bottom lane turret is to go top lane. Again, that's accelerating the map, and it's not putting yourself into a frozen lane, but Swiper has to blow the flash. He's now on wave clear duty against people that he doesn't really want to be against.
Yep.
He's also the teleports. I would imagine he even leaves that lane soon and goes bottom.
And that, again, that could be a, once again, bit of an uneven trade here. Chiefs get that bottom tower though.
They'll keep going though.
Push through here. And yeah, look to pressure, I guess. This is actually a trade that can.
So a smart move would be to
keep up
teleport to a minion as Swiper. Actually keep that push going, but he didn't do it.
No, he's actually stayed top. He's got full health and mana, but can't really save it. And the Chiefs have to wait for a wave. Now they can't
placed
commit.
a ward for him. Interesting from the Chiefs. They didn't hard commit to anything. I feel like that would have actually been the right move.
Is Swiper actually going to defend top though? Because that's an interesting
so he's
eventuality.
able to hold 1v2. That's the interesting contrast to it. It's Lucidity boots tier for an Ezreal, so the damage isn't massive.
Oh, once again though, Naru locked up. Oh my god, that claw. Actually can't believe he managed to take it, but he just had enough time on the end.
And it's got a buffer period at the end of it where it looks like you're not going to be able to take it, but for some reason you can. Because animations.
Yep. Well, Rod of Age is done for Naru. Rod of Age is almost done for Swiffer. This could be trouble.
Oh no, he body slammed the Raptors.
Yep. Naru in, but he gets locked up. Swiffer going to get ulted back there as well. And Rise lives.
Yep. He didn't even use a summoner spell? Nice.
I don't know how that happened. Okay. Well done. Swiffer's a wizard. Manages to magic his way out of that situation.
Actually a wizard.
It's a very suitable skin.
I'm a bit miffed that I can't work it out.
Oh, Ejim does try and block Dumbledore coming in with a pillar. Actually successful.
Yeah, that was really well blocked by Ejim on the Poppy dash in particular. So you can block a lot of things with a Trundle Pillar.
So you can stop either Poppy.
That's one of the harder things to block. Trundle Pillar stops everything.
Yeah.
Blitzcrank hooks, you know it.
Ooh, trouble. Radiant maybe going to get 1v1 tier. Does zoom out of the way. Now pops the Culling down. Actually very well played by Radiant. But Atu is going to use that flash to keep himself safe. Had the heal as well. In fact, that was a very elongated bait as Dumbledore is going to force the heal out of Ejim, but he's going to ignite him down. The Dumbledore slays another. And now looking for Ejim. Might even get 2 out of the deal here. Needs a wall. Ejim trying to path very, very effectively, but here comes the Gragas. Another great player is going to keep him alive, but Atu cleans him up.
Yeah, they get themselves the second kill. It was a delicate 1v1 between AD carries. But at the end of the day, Dumbledore, he does a lot of damage on this puppy.
Yep. Turns out the supports are the equalizers in the 1v1, which makes a lot of sense. And there's a tower going over to SuperMassive as well. Swiper trying to work on this, but can't really do too much. Just slap it a few times, but 2-1 up in turrets now. for SuperMassive. The Chiefs actually pretty far behind in gold already, approaching 3K. 14.5 minutes into the game. Is the Rift Herald's now the next target?
Yeah. That definitely is a not promising prospect for the Chiefs fans and Oceanic fans at the moment. SuperMassive, however, looking stellar in terms of their rotations now around this map. They're starting to get it together, accelerate the map further, and even through level advantages they have. Like, Dumbledore was level 8 when he went in there to kill Raider. It's the same level as Raider.
101, the carry support.
Yeah, it's leaps and bounds ahead.
Truly a carry from the bottom lane. As Dragon does go over to the Chiefs, so Kindred will get those stacks. Actually did delay it long enough to make sure she got the full benefit out of the buff. And Rotovade is now up for Swiffer, so it certainly does feel like the early power's coming up for everyone here. Essence Reaver done for Radiant. Sheen Manamune done for Atrue, so even he's kind of strong. And Echo with the Iceborne as Ejim and Dumbledore once again will do battle. Dumbledore gets a slam in. Ejim now caught. Good flash. But forced to burn the Summoner.
So it was a good flash, but was it necessary to be there fighting someone that, again, it maybe supports, but he's still 2 levels above you? There's no reason to be taking these people on in the middle of the map where you don't have vision deep enough to see the Gragas. Stomage is honestly everywhere right now. Spooks has not existed, which is really unfortunate for the Chiefs at the moment. But once again, this just comes down to proactive play from SuperMassive.
It's been great to watch.
Like, once again, here's another proactive move.
Yep, Naru roaming in towards the top lane. Ejim swoops in to defend. Good ulti, though. It's going to catch Ejim, and there's the Lysandra ulti for the alley-oop. Naru getting another kill.
This jungler is phenomenal right now. The Gragas has been hitting these kegs like it's nobody's business. And they get another.
Oh, Swiffer again. They're looking for a Chew now in the mid lane. He's going to keep going for it. Q lands in. Snares good, and Swiffer gets himself another solo kill, but now the TP is going to come in. Does have the cleanse, but he doesn't have his flash. Now we're going to look to try and take another trade. I don't think Swiffer can do it. He's going to try and turn around the passive procs again. He's going to try the spells in. Swiffer! Oh my god! He dodges the Q!
This is delicate.
Spell vamp from the ulti actually is enough to keep him a little bit alive.
Okay, so he has no way out. There is an Echo about to cut him off.
Naru comes in again. Swiffer dodges in, but here's Thaldrun. He can't get away from this, but he snares up one. Needs a few more spells for it. Throws the Q in. Swiffer finally getting chased down, but he made such a big effort of it.
It took a long time to take him down, but the Chiefs still are not responding to any movement that SuperMassive make. Took 30 seconds to take him down, but they're not going to get anything for it. They might get top.
Yeah, they actually lose.
But it's still a trade.
Yeah.
It's a net loss.
Certainly is. Not a trade they want to make here. As Raider is able to take this turret out, but 3-2 up in turrets for SuperMassive is great for them. 3K up still as well. A Swiper. This is cute, but he's going to chill out. Get some damage down in onto Thaldrun. Thaldrun not too worried.
That was an out trade. Call it a day.
Yep. Lane's done. Off we go.
All right then.
Still edged. Clearing those camps. Going to go back and probably has a big bite to make after his recent endeavors, making plays around the rift.
Righto, round 2.
Thaldrun wins this time. Protects that pink ward. Takes out that trinket ward. Spooks is going to take this red. It's warded. Raptor's going to proc. Spooks will clear that out and now take the red for himself. 14 Devour stacks so far. Make it 15. So halfway there. As he does take out the red buff.
He's stacking alright. They don't really have control of neutral objectives enough to accelerate him either, so he's just going to be stacking at a stock standard pace. Whereas the flip side of the map, Stomage has been putting in overtime. He's even got challenging smite to take people on. Less about the vision, which they still have enough of through pink wards. It's more about killing. And it's working.
Certainly been good to see how proactive SuperMassive have been. We kind of expected that with the team comp, but certainly echoing in their play here as well.
This top lane is actually a big point of contention now between teams.
Super actually could die here. Dumbledore moves in for a kill, but actually get locked up here. Poppy support, not that tanky. Spooks, though, gets kicked out of it, but Swiffer still going to chase in. Needs the last Q, but it's not quite enough. Rady, though, is able to get the snipe down, and now Stomage in trouble. Another snare could spell the end there as he is going to go down to Swiffer. The Chiefs finally answer back for 2, but Naru's busy pushing mid lane.
Yeah, 2 big setup kills here for the Chiefs, and the easy thing about that was that they set up for an extended and predictable period of time there. SuperMassive gave enough time for Chiefs without any control of the map to just kind of walk in and say, we know you're going to be up here, and catch them completely unaware with just assumed rotations. Very well done. Once again, Swiffer doesn't need his teleport. He is starting to step up, though, in this game.
Yeah, Raider and Spooks actually grouping for this tower. They should be able to get this as EJ moves into cover. Naru, it did push mid game, but his Alessandro didn't really get too much damage done to it. Thouldren going to try and steal this blue, but Swiper may have actually caught him out here. EJ also going to move in as the pillar. He's going to slow him down, but he phase dives away. Echo is so fast with the passive, and Thaldren is uncatchable.
Yeah, he even turns around to have another, you know, smack on with Swiper.
Yeah, I mean, no help coming. Swiper actually may have to worry about
It's never ending.
the rest of the team coming. Thaldren actually almost getting a 1v1, but Swiper not really going to die. The Spirit Visage Maokai, oh my god, he's not done.
So that sums up top lane nicely, doesn't it?
Yep.
Not really going to die.
Thaldren actually still chasing. Good dodge of the stun there by Swiper. Spooks is now here as well. And he actually has no help here. Now Spooks has arrived. Red Buff's going to tag him, and Thaldren's like, yeah, alright, I'll live. Maybe. Maybe.
Did, like, Spooks not get over the wall properly, or did he just try and poke him from the Gromp?
No.
It's one of life's questions.
Oh, blue buff goes to Stomach. Very good steal. Despite Swiper tying up Thaldren for about 40 seconds, Chiefs still couldn't get their blue buff. It does feel like the controls are a little sloppy in the early stages here. SuperMassive been all over the map, looking good.
No, top laners just basically play Twister together, and they became a pretzel. That's just what they spent the last minute doing.
Well, they're untangled now. Looks like they are going to go back and maybe get a shop in. Thaldren actually does spend some of that money. Spectre's Calbami Cinder. So the very stock standard Echo stuff here after that Ice Pawn. And it's not going to get easier for poor Swiper to fight him. Power though, definitely in these mid laners, Naru and Swiffer.
Oh yeah.
2 items done. Rod of Ages plus 1 more. Ceres for the Rise and Abyssal there for the Lysandra. And now Dragon over to Supermassive. Going to get one for themselves. Spook's going to get denied those Devour attacks, and of course, Dragon 1's always good to have.
I will say that, however, the gold lead has been substantially closed by the Chiefs, finding those picks, swapping and trading turrets down to even things back up. And yeah, we're almost across the board at 2 item spikes. You can see how much damage they're now doing.
Super still fighting. Thaldren not as confident in that 1v1, but a good Azrael ulti actually gets a bit of extra damage in. Not quite enough to pick a fight though. 3 members of Supermassive here trying to push in. There's Raider and Swiper looking to answer. Ejim and Spooks coming in as well. There's the culling burnt down. That'll clear that wave out, and the rest of the Chiefs will be there in time.
Yeah, but Supermassive don't look like they want to leave the bottom lane at all. Thaldren with the advantage, able to take down turrets like clockwork, having a Sheen as well as an auto attack reset on this Echo. He can even move from there to top lane, and it's because of the side wave and minion manipulation that the Turkish league, the Turkish side have got, that they're able to hang out down here and just make it work slowly.
Yeah, it's been excellent map control. Spooks actually hit some poke there. Raiding going to get aggressed on, but the Lamb's Spite maybe saves him. No, it doesn't. The Spook's also going to get taken up by Dumbledore. I think they both got pushed out of the Kindred ulti. And now Ejim's getting chased down. Swiper's here as well, but Swiffer has to play cleanup, and Swiper's getting tower dived here. Flashes straight back into the Lamb's, to the Parallel Convergence, sorry. And Swiffer just doesn't have enough damage. Amazing tower dive from Supermassive, gets him 3 kills.
Yeah, they just
3 kills.
find the right time to execute, and they do it perfectly. I am shocked that Raider died, because the Kindred ultimate was down and Dumbledore's ulted him out of it. So it must have been an Ignite that actually took him down whilst he was outside of it. And again, that was just so clean. In a situation where you're diving a turret against a Kindred and a Maokai, you never expect something to be clean like that. I would imagine the Chiefs looked at that and said, you can't dive us. There's no way that you can dive that.
And then they dived them.
And then they made it work.
It went very well for Supermassive. Swiffer missing a little late to that rotation finally. The lack of TP hurting him a bit there.
Clean.
Yeah. Really well played. Get the tower out of it as well. So 5-3 up in turrets, 8-3 up in kills. Surge ahead in gold. They're about 4k up so far. Kind of approaching 5, sitting, I guess, at about 4,500. And they're not done. They're just continuing to push advantages around the map. It's just been such clean map play that's setting up plays, and when they finally go to actually make a play, they execute well.
And you can see, like, even the amount of pink wards that they've got on the map around the Baron. Like, that says it all. They've got 4 pink wards in the river alone. The deep vision they've got, like, if Baron's not the objective they're looking for after they push in top lane, I don't know what is. That is actually just lit up. Like, you would be shocked to see that there is not a single piece of vision that they don't have.
Yeah, complete clean vision on this left side.
So well covered.
And Swiper continuing to have problems here with the Echo. Another tower goes down. 6 now, all down, as that's the outers and the tier 2s all gone. And as you said, Baron is the most obvious objective. I think Spooks knows it, so he has to run in to try and get a ward down. Defensive Pink's going to find that ward. but still not nearly enough coverage for Chiefs around this Baron. Ejim's going to try and take the wards down, but Achu's going to zone him off that one. Ejim is going to move in to get it. Even Scuttlecrab goes down. Ejim just has to pillar. Like, they need to check Baron.
Well, it's the first step, isn't it? And, I mean, the Turkish side had that well and truly in place, is vision. And then from vision, you're able to make picks or control objectives. Use those objectives to try and snowball the game. SuperMassive don't decide to pull the trigger, though. They still have control of the river, so they've got the neutral area still established. Chiefs just get back their own jungle, so honestly it's one small push into the jungle again for Dumbledoge and Stomaged. And they get themselves back enough control to do whatever they would like, and I mean, based off that last dive, absolutely capable.
Yeah, and I mean, just look at the inventory still here for SuperMassive. They have 3 pink wards in their inventory, on top of the ones they've already placed around the Baron area, so really exceptional play. Again, been very impressed by how they've been able to play around the map here. The Swiffer going to get aggressed on here by Thaldren. Does hit a pretty good chunk of damage there.
Yeah, it's actually 5 strong from the pink wards. I keep coming back to them, but it's actually just really impressive to see this amount of control established.
This looks like a problem though. Ejim getting aggressed on. Oh, that was sick, but it actually saved him from the stun, I think. Ejim has ulted up, and I'm not sure he's going to get out of this one. Not too tanky as the ult is going to wear off, and here's the rest of the team. Culling down there on Tanaru for a bit of poke. But it just kind of tickles a Swiper actually aggressed on as well. Chiefs, you do not want to fight here, but SuperMassive do want to fight you.
They have no choice.
He has the TP. Absolutely, you must stand and fight. Naru moves in, ties up Swiper. Swiper does get a lot of health back. He's still alive for now, but the rest of the team's in a whole host of trouble. Achu's going to take him out. That's another kill onto Spooks, and it's just a clean house here. SuperMassive take 4 kills.
And this is just a dismantling of the Chiefs right now. SuperMassive are looking phenomenal. Their team play, their movement, their decision making, and even their team fighting when it comes to execution has been crisp.
Yeah, it really has. And the Chiefs, a team locally known for their pretty much the same thing. I feel like Turkey right now just outclassing them in this particular game. And they get the Baron. They've got such a massive gold lead. A super massive gold lead, in fact.
Well, it is. It's
9K.
monstrous, yeah.
9,000 for anyone wondering. Can't just give them the hyperbole. They'll never know what the real lead is. How will I inform my audience otherwise?
Oh, well, that's our job. Informing them.
Hyperbole? Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely,
That's
yeah.
my job,
As vague
apparently.
as possible.
As vague and as exciting as possible. As Dragon's back up here. It looks like SuperMassive are just going to start things up. Nara goes ahead and starts it. Dumbledoge takes jungle duty for now because Stomach is busy taking his blue buff. It's a dead blue.
It's like a speech from Rocky, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's very vague because you can barely understand him. But it's very entertaining and exciting.
Well, the brakes are not off at all. Here for the blue side. Now I'm going to start bottom side push. I've got the Baron. Thaldren has been a huge thorn in Swiper's side pretty much since the lane started. He's got, what, 40 CS lead?
This is a recurring
and
issue
Echo
with
just never
Swiper.
has to leave.
Yeah. Echoes just always seem to be an issue when it comes to Swiper. They also pick themselves a Maokai into it knowingly, which to me is just a big no-no. And it absolutely does backfire for them.
First pick's looking good here as the Chiefs looking to get aggressive. Swiper actually TP'd in. He's locked up Dumbledoge. Just Stomach also taking some damage. The Chiefs need to find the fight here, but the flash out from Achu should keep him safe. Daldra now in the mix, just tanking up all the damage as Dumbledoge finds a stun in onto Radiant. Radiant kiting as best he can, but Naru's going to take him out. Edgel's going to clean up Rise on the backside of it, and Spooks, he's trying to make it work, but SuperMassive just fighting far too well. Swiper going to be the next one to be chased down, and now Ejim's the only one left alive. It's another 4-kill team fight.
Yeah, once again, SuperMassive, they just look unstoppable in this game, and they just destroyed the Chiefs roster once again. That's most likely going to be game at 28 minutes. Bit different to the last 2 games that we have had accelerated game time, and whilst we came into this, said there was going to be no favorites, they've made a claim to be the favorites here, Turkey.
This is a message, most certainly sentence. The game is going to end. SuperMassive with a huge lead. Bat off the last stand for the Chiefs and take the game. Very convincing. Pretty much all the way through.
Yeah.
And we talked about their players. We know how good individually their players are. We maybe wondered a little bit about their team play. They were a new-ish team in some ways. did have some struggles locally, but absolutely no struggles in that game. Team play looked on point.
Yeah, absolutely. That was just so well executed, honestly, from SuperMassive. From start to finish, they had control of the map. They won a laning phase with the Tyrion and Ezreal, something probably shouldn't have happened, against the BF sword from Illusion, but all things considered, when it came to the crunch, they just decided they wanted to speed up the pace of the game. They did that. Chiefs had to play to that tempo throughout, and that's where it really unfolded.
Yeah, and you can see the last fight there. You get the point, right? Like, they have to do something, and they almost made a go of it, but I think for me, I'll look at that game and I'll see, yep, like strong laning, great map rotations, excellent play from the Gragas, Naru making plays on the Lissandra, but that tower dive for the bottom tier 2, that's what cemented it for me, because that's just such a beautiful play.
And it's something we're seeing less of. It has been alluded towards a couple of times now, but tower diving is just impossible to execute on because there are so many champions. Alistar, Trundle's another great example, Maokai as well with the damage mitigation in an area. All of these champions that were still present on the side of the Chiefs, and SuperMassive said, we don't really care.
Nope.
We're just going to dive you and we're going to make it work. Nobody dying and taking out 4 members. It's a statement if ever I've seen one. This team is confident and they are playing well.
Certainly is, and have to think about the jungle matchup a little bit as well. Spooks, great early start to his game. Honestly, like, Kendrick was looking good. He almost got the kill, burnt the flash, lost his Raptor, unfortunately, but, like, you could see where the aggression was. But Stormage just got unleashed in the ganks.
Yeah, I'm still not sure that the Chiefs know how to play the fast place that the Turkish team were actually bringing to them. I think that's the easiest way to put it, is they wanted to play slow. They wanted to get the stacks on Kindred. They wanted to ramp up with the Rise. You know what? The answer from SuperMassive was don't let them.
Yep.
And that's the problem, is the Chiefs had no answer to not letting them play that because they had a losing top lane. They had an even mid lane. It was a farm lane where Swiffer was doing well, but it was never going to win. What they were relying on was the Trundle Lucian to win the bottom lane. Like, outright needed to win that bottom lane. The opposite happened, and that's where the whole map just crumbled.
Yeah, I mean, Swiffer did try and make some plays there as well. He was constantly being proactive on the Rise, but again, it's League of Legends is certainly a team game. I think Turkey were just playing around the map better, and I sort of mentioned this in the game, like, locally, the Chiefs are known for setting up like excellent wards and objectives and then executing at moments, but usually playing around the map. I really just feel like SuperMassive were just a team that were doing that just a bit better. Quite a bit better, actually.
Yeah, I mean, this whole game was just... the term better to me just sums up this game. Everything that you can do, Turkey did better. That was honestly the result here for the Chiefs. And that's a very unfortunate thing to say if you're a Chiefs fan, but tell you what, Turkey, they are making a run for it now already.
Yeah, and after INTZ, an upset loss, honestly, there to Hard Random, who did look quite strong, but it took a little while to close the game out. A strong first game, but very back and forth between the two Latin American sides. This is our first decisive game, really, of the tournament. And you have to think, all right, these guys are always the dark horse. Maybe you have to start shifting that title around. Maybe they get to be favorite at the end of the day. But I guess we'll find out. Certainly that first performance is a big message sent to the rest of the teams.
The ability to close out is the most important thing. That's what we can take from all of these games. Everyone is waiting until 40 minutes, till like late Dragons, till late Baron fights, so they can actually secure objectives enough to close a game out. They just decided we can dive you, and that's a massive polarizing difference here. So honestly, what you can take from this is don't let them get ahead early.
Yeah, and I think it's just important to, make sure everything goes okay. But we are going to have a look at the results and check in with where we are up to after the day. We do have, of course, a win to start things off for Isrus Gaming. A win there for Hard Random with the upset there versus INTZ. And then SuperMassive, such a decisive win there versus the Chiefs. Ocenia will have to look to their game against Hard Random later today, see if they can pick up a win on day number 1. But still, 4 good games to go. Pretty excited for the next one as well, actually. Detonation Focus Me versus Saigon Jokers. Should be a whole lot of fun, Rusty.
Yeah, the last chance that we're going to see of these... Oh, sorry, the first time we're going to see the remaining teams in this tournament. So naturally, a very important one. And I think we're going to see some heavy-hitting games between these two just quietly. I think it's going to be quite good.
And as always, like, the power-up is very strong for wildcard teams. I feel like every event, the teams just all get better. Certainly, the first 3 games have been have really indicated that as well. But as far as, like, hidden bosses go, Detonation Focus Me may just be at the best spot they've ever been for a wildcard event.
They're actually the hidden boss of this tournament. You look at Turkey, you always call them the dark horse. You look at Brazil, you always call them the favorites. You look at Oceania, you always call them like the middle to the high of the pack. You never really know, but they're always there. Japan, you don't know, but right now, I think we do.
Well, we are going to find out. So excited for that match, but it's just coming up after this. Saigon Jokers versus Detonation Focus Me will be up after this break.